There's our connection. Welcome to this extreme menage a trois of violence you'll ever experience here on the Extreme Three-Way Dance Podcast. I'm JT, joined by Jenny and Matt. As always, we are simulcast video and audio on all podcast applications, except for those losers of Spotify under North-South Connection, and then video on our YouTube channel. The search North-South Connection there. We've recently surpassed 1,100 subscribers, so thank you for the continued growth and support. We love you. We have all kinds of cool content. Of course, we're coming off WrestlePalooza. Not to be confused with WrestlePalooza, but right. WrestlePalooza. Right. So we had all of our previews. We had a post show, and we do that for every PLE, big Raws, clashes. There's no more clashes, Saturday main events, and then of course NXT special sometimes as well. We kind of cover the gamut on the current day product, and then we have a lot of cool old school stuff, and as well as Jenny and I do a show on NXT Takeover. And of course, we have one Marcus and I going through the history of WWE pay-per-views on WWE War. Chad and I on the I guess the Norso flagship, we'll call it Wrestling Warzone. Jenny on Wednesday brings you all kinds of different content, mostly around the world of pop culture, probably, right?
Comics, movies, documentaries.
Whatever she's feeling like that day. October's coming, so it'll be freak out drive-in season.
Fuck yeah! Already started recording those. It's been fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of them you could say that maybe there's a return to Oz. We'll see. Who knows? And of course, Matt, you pop up here and there on the No-So. You're also over the Backbone Wrestling Network, which you can find. So subscribe to both of those and share the love here, and we appreciate it all. It's a lot of fun to do. We love the comments, and we're careening toward the end of ECW here, guys. We're in April of 2000. We only got about 8 odd months left to go in the history of this promotion, which is crazy. But we have a lot of content in that 8 months to cover. So let's do it. We're going to start the ECW on TNN from April 7th, 2000. Joey Styles and Joel Gertner are in the ring in Richmond, Virginia, and kick off the show. Joel does a shtick, and Joey brings out Francine and Raven to booze. Joey asks about the bounty, and Raven says, based on the levels of depravity that he has reached, he can see why Joey would think he would do something like that. But Joey puts too much stock in internet rumors and dirt sheets, and he had nothing to do with the hit. Joey says the Baldies pinned it on Raven. Francine cuts in and says she and Joey go way back. Is he going to believe her or all the Baldies? Francine also said she's a Baldy herself, but she can't show us that on TV. Fran says she knows for sure the hit was an issue by Raven, so Joey says maybe it was you. Francine says she's never liked Joey, and who are you to get in my face with accusations? The Baldies are out, and Angel asks Raven why he's playing himself when he knows he's the one that put out the hit. Angel asks if he smells fear, and Raven says Angel's smelling his mom, and that's because Raven only had $10 on him. DeVito slugs Raven in the gut. Angel and Grimes pounce, and all three beat him down as Joey pulls Francine to safety from the Baldies. So, Matt, what do you think of this opening segment here? Interesting little mix-up between the Raven and the Baldies. Not something you'd probably think of, but
yeah, that was kind of my thing. Like, we all know all of our collective thoughts, I think, on the Baldies. Like, I don't know if this is a long-term thing, but we don't need to add the Baldies to this whole thing. Like, we kind of don't necessarily need the New Jack stuff either, but it's like, why are we shoving the Baldies into this whole thing when they're really not needed? I hope it's just like a thing they needed to fill an episode of TV, and it's not all of a sudden
it feels that way.
Raven versus the Baldies every fucking week, because I don't necessarily.
No, it feels like it's like a road stop here, you know.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. But Fran was great. Her saying that she always hated Joey was very funny, and her saying she was bald leaves precious little to the imagination. But yeah, this was a hot opening.
Fran said her in the '90s. I feel like that wasn't as
yeah.
Not a lot of people dress like Francine dressed also. So it might be a requirement of her wardrobe. This interaction was worth it just for Francine's joke for me. And then also Raven's mama joke, which I very much enjoyed. I don't like Fran and Joey having words. No, thank you. That's like mom and dad of ECW. Like, no. I don't need that happening. It was okay. It was okay for an opening. I don't know. I don't like this version of Francine as much, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's funny because I was going to ask you that actually. What is your ranking so far, Francine partners? So we started with the Pitbulls, right? Well, kind of Stevie, but that was brief. The Pitbulls, then to Shane, then to Tommy. then to Raven, right? I don't think she's really been with anyone else. I think that's pretty much been the run.
Yeah, for the most part.
Shane's number one. There's no question for me.
I would agree.
Pitbull's probably 2 for me because she was great.
Then Tommy.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
we'll see what happens here with Raven eventually.
Right.
I'm a little torn on Tommy versus the Pitbulls because like she was really good at the Pitbulls, but I also feel like she wasn't quite there yet. Like she, like I feel like with Tommy, they presented her as like an equal to Tommy, which was cool. Like she got a lot more shine and in-ring stuff. The Pitbull, she was kind of like your typical mid-90s valet where she didn't do a lot like active stuff. It was more Beulah was kind of doing that. But I feel like with Tommy, she was like in the ring, like she was almost presented as like Tommy's like advisor, like versus just like a valet, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Shane, the Shane triple threat stuff's obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Easily.
All right, so we cut to the sinister minister backstage who says it looks like Tommy Dreamer rolled the dice of fate and crapped out. And the hard line on the street is that Raven put a hit, and that doesn't surprise him as Raven has the ethics of a weasel and the ethics of a drowning rat, and that is why he likes him. Raven refutes, and he does always tell the truth even when he's lying. And the only thing certain is that someone is pulling an awful lot of strings. And then maybe one of the creepiest visuals in CW history. We zoom out, and he's like, I don't know if it's like a bridge or a balcony, whatever the fuck he's on, and he's dangling marionette strings, and we pan down, and he's controlling Mikey Whipwreck, who is cackling like a maniac. It was definitely something out of like a cheap 80s horror movie. Right? He's got these giant fucking pedal. Like it was more than I needed to see. It wasn't as gross as the tuna, but he's a disgusting man, Jennifer.
He's wonderful. What are you talking about? They're both wonderful.
Yeah, Mikey.
They spent a lot of money on that giant prop marionette, so they better put it to use.
Right.
They look like they're having fun, you guys.
100%.
How fun does that shit look? Like
100%.
Mikey, poor thing, is like he's had bullshit for like years now.
Right.
And whatever. Fuck it. Just go and be crazy and have fun.
That was going to be my point, is that, hey, they're fucking doing something with Mikey after he hasn't done shit for like 3 years. So
it is nice. It is good for him. We've been talking about that since Matt started the podcast. We need something for Mikey to do. Since that little brief feud with Just Incredible in like late '97. Right. And I know he was gone for part of the time, but he's really, even before that, really, since Foley left, he's done like nothing since the early '96.
And he's really good at doing this.
Oh yeah.
He had his brief feud with Paul Loria, but he also he needed something, like not just another Mikey feud with Mikey is Mikey, I didn't like the whiny my mommy stuff, but it did lead us to here where he's kind of found like a father figure, right, and fallen into basically this cult because he was lost soul. So it's like it's kind of worked with where he's landed up, and he's a perfect choice for like Minister's first kind of guy. I don't know if Minister's still with Raven or not. Like that was kind of teased for a while. But
who can say?
We'll see. All right, we get our opening animation. We go to the ring for opening match. It's Kid Cash taking on Steve Carino. Carino and Victory head out. We take a break. We come back. The match is underway. Joel's talking about how Francine avoids her razor burn. We get some chain work focusing on the arm from Carino as Joey says Carino's taking on a more cowboy look to garner favor with the network. Cash gets a flurry of offense and knocks Carino to the floor. Cash follows with a somersault plancha into Carino and Victory to a pop. Carino slides back inside. Cash meets him with a clothesline, runs into a hard back elbow, and careen's down. Cash tries to flip to a hip toss. Carino twists into a powerbomb for 2. Dumps Cash outside, and Victory lands an elbow before Carino comes out and throws Cash into the railing. Back inside, Cash ducks a lariat, gets a springboard body block for 2. Carino pops up and levels Cash with a lariat, drops a bionic elbow. Cash ducks another lariat and hits Victory with a baseball side. Hammers away Carino, takes him down with a top rope Rana. Victory's in, but Cash drop kicks him into the referee. Cash counters a backslide. It's a pedigree, but the ref is still down. In comes Rhino. Cash leaps over the first gore, but Rhino catches him with a second one, and Carino covers for the win in a fun TV match. That was pretty simple and effective. I thought both guys looked really good. And the finish was good with Rhino still being the closer for Carino. So a good quality TV match here, Matt. Went 2.5, just kind of what you'd want and expect from these guys on TV.
Yeah, I went 2 3/4 on it. I think they're finally realizing what they have with Kid Cash because they're putting him in there now with Carino. He had the feud with Mike Awesome earlier. He got the pay-per-view match. So turns out he's good at doing the wrestling thing. Who knew? But yeah, also him getting a visual pin over Carino was really interesting too before Rhino comes in and fucking murders him at the end. So I like it. Like, just keep using Cash more in these spots. He doesn't necessarily have to win, but like he's great at making everybody else look great. So I'm here for all of this. Just let Kid Cash cook, basically, is what I'm saying. So 2 3/4, Jenny.
All right. Yeah, I'm at 2 3/4 as well. You know, we don't get a lot of Carino like actually wrestling matches like this very often. Because like, you know, the Dusty thing was, you know, kind of a different style. He's kind of more all-purposey than I thought that he was. Like, he can work a bull rope match. He can do this. He can work with Cash, you know, and he can do hardcore stuff too. So like, I don't know. He's kind of like super valuable at this point. I think he's I don't know. I actually enjoyed him a lot in this match before he does the chicken shit stuff and have Rhino come in and all that stuff. Like, I enjoyed watching him actually work the match, is what I'm saying. And that gore was fucking sick as hell.
Yeah. And we had talked a bunch about H.G. Loke. Rocco let us know that Loke was actually a wrestler already. And then they did the referee gimmick as a way to kind of introduce him in. So like that made sense why. Remember, we were kind of like surprised, like that it was kind of decent. Right. So there you go. All right. So we're going backstage for a visit with the FBI, Little Guido and Big Sal. And I guess if they're here, that can only mean just one thing, that it's time for this week's Italian Lesson of the Week. Going to the Jersey Shore, bitch, because today's lesson of the week is focused on Rhode Island's own DJ Paul Michael Del Vecchio Jr., also known as DJ Paulie D, one of the great Italian-American entertainers of our generation.
That's what I say, yeah.
Born July 5th, 1980, almost 5 months the day before yours truly, in Providence, Rhode Island. He is the son of Donna DiCarlo and Paul D. Del Vecchio Sr., said he has 100% Italian descent, which I don't think anyone will argue that, as one sister Vanessa was a local DJ under the moniker Paulie D, and of course was cast for the show Jersey Shore, not due to his music, but due to his look. He was sent a message on MySpace by MTV. The casting directors then called from LA. They wanted to send a camera crew to Rhode Island just to film one day at his life. And of course, that would lead to him being casted in the show. And he's always been one of the more interesting case studies in reality TV and Jersey Shore, because you can see in the first season, he's kind of as unhinged as the rest of them. And then I think he goes home and he kind of realizes like, oh, this could be my break. This thing's going to be a hit. And after that, he is not problematic in any way for the rest of the show's history. He just like minds his fucking business. He's funny. He tells, does his jokes, and here and there you still see the old Paulie slip in. But you watch that season one Paulie and then the other Paulie, and you can tell this is a guy that knew this was his chance to fucking make it big. And kudos to him because he has made a massive career out of being a star in Jersey Shore, and then turning that into just a big traveling DJ gig where he just goes all over the country, travels like a madman at all times, doing these shows everywhere, has made himself into a multimillionaire. And he seems like he's got his head on straight. So I wanted to give a big shout out to Rhode Island's old Paulie D. I do have friends that went to school with him at Johnston High School, so they do remember him, of course, we're the same age. So kind of a cool note. Local boy done well. So there you go.
Have you ever seen him? Been to one of his shows?
No, he was at Foxwoods and we thought about going, but I'm just too old for that scene. Like
the DJ's the same age.
All of Paulie's fucking fans are old. What are you talking about?
I don't know about
You're the same age as the DJ. It'd be fine.
What are you talking about?
I would maybe go like like in Vegas for his residency, if like
Yes.
the outdoor like pool party or something, like something like that, but like going in like the Shrine nightclub. Yeah, like,
Yes.
But going to like Shrine nightclub and watching him feels like a little bit like there's a better chance that I get like thrown out for being called creepy or something than I do for fitting in. Being the old creeper.
Well, just don't roofie anybody.
I'm from Rhode Island too.
Yeah.
There's more chance I get roofied than I roofie someone. I can promise you that.
Yeah, it is Connecticut. That's a fair point.
Anyway, cool dude from all accounts. I've never really heard too much otherwise about him, both locally.
No, yeah. I mean, he's beloved.
Yep.
You know, who doesn't like that guy?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
And he keeps everything like you never see him in the news. Like, you know, he had that kid that like, you know, his daughter that you never even heard that he had a daughter for a while until he brought it up on the show. He's had a pretty stable relationship now for a while as well with Nikki. So it's like, yeah, he's definitely, he figured it out fast. As soon as they knew they were coming back for that season 2, it's funny to watch how quick the switch flipped with him and to just like, oh shit, I'm just going to be chill. And
he realized what he had. It's stupid like a fox, basically.
Yeah, I think they all got there eventually. But he definitely was kind of the first to realize like this was a chance to get some notoriety for his DJing career. So, all right, Guido and Sal are backstage training for Guido's TV title match next week. Cyrus comes in and says, "Wow, big man, you look like you played some ball." Kind of does it like in a Vince voice, which is funny. So that was good. Cyrus says the network is all about opportunity and they want to give some to Guido. Next match will be a 3-way dance and that'll feature Tajiri as well. Guido is not happy, but Cyrus says he has things taken care of and Tajiri will help eliminate Super Crazy and then he'll do the honors and you will be the new TV champion, Guido. You can be the star for the young Italian demographic. It'd be like Bruno in 63 all over again. Cyrus leaves and Guido's feeling good. And Sal's onto it though. He's like, that felt a little shifty. He's like, I don't know about that one. And Guido says he can take both of them. We don't get a lot of Guido. We used to get a lot of FBI backstage skits when we had Tommy Rich and Smothers and JT Smith and stuff. But we haven't got too much backstage with Guido and Big Sal. So I enjoyed this one. I thought they were pretty good playing off each other. And Cyrus is funny as always, Jenny.
Imagine Sal being the brains of the outfit. You know? I don't know. Maybe that makes sense, but I kind of loved it. You know, he was like, I don't know. Like he seems kind of.
He's a consigliere. That's his job to sniff out this nonsense. To advise Guido.
You got to advise your man, but Cyrus was really good in that too. And I'm like, why are you being dumb and believing anything that Cyrus says?
Yeah. No.
The Bruno in 63 line fucking killed me. That was such a great line. And yeah, to your point, like we don't see a lot of Guido. I feel like the last time we saw the FBI do anything backstage is when they were fucking making pizza with Tommy Rich. But
it's been a while.
Like, it's been such like I'm here for it. Like Guido's entertaining, Sal's entertaining, especially you pair the two of them with Cyrus. Like this was really fun. It was short, but it was really fun for what it was. So yeah, I'm all in on all of this.
All right, we then go elsewhere backstage where we see Cyrus with Tajiri, and he tells him again about next week and promises Guido's taken care of and Tajiri will be the new champion. And the network loves the young Japanese girl demographic. Cyrus says TNN stands for the Nippon Network. And Tajiri's smiling, and Cyrus hypes him up and pretends to know what he's saying. Any quick thoughts on him and Tajiri?
He's the perfect fucking shit stirrer. I love it so much. It's great.
Do we want to see this match too? Like, are we tired of this match? Do we want to see this match again?
It's kind of getting to be like Awesome and Tanaka, where they're always great, but like, it's like, okay, could maybe use something different. Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah.
I do like Cyrus having a real job. It's like when he was just kind of a shit stirrer with no job was weird. Then he was kind of working for ECW, but that didn't like really make sense. So this has been like kind of a godsend for him to stumble into. But as someone that used to, when I worked in TV, have to upload old NBA games to the Nippon Network or at least the Japanese television, like late at night, Chinese television, I can enjoy the reference. All right, off we go to the next match, which is Mikey Whipwreck taking on Super Crazy. Mikey's hair is still muffled up, but it's now dyed red. So he is
what?
Muffled up.
Muffled up.
Muffled,
okay.
Yeah.
Muffled. Muggled. He's muggled up.
It's muggled up.
Yeah.
It's a Sean Kidd.
He's something.
His hair has been thermalized and muggled up, and is now dyed red. Super Crazy falls out after a break. Mikey attacks at the bell, goes low with a kick, plants the champ with a shoulder block. Joey says as a kid, Super Crazy's TV. I'm sorry, Joel says as a kid, Super Crazy's TV only had 2 buttons, on and off. Crazy rallies and gets a Rana and a spin wheel kick to drive Mikey outside. Joey says Mikey's mom might want to prescribe Ritalin for him. And Joel says he's playing the devil's advocate lately. Super Crazy misses an acai moonsault. Mikey drills him with a super kick and bangs him into the railing with a side Russian leg sweep. Joey runs down Mikey's resume as he throws Crazy on the railing and lands a hard elbow. Back inside, Mikey works the back. Joey says this is his best showing since he returned from WCW. Mikey flips Crazy to the apron. Crazy slugs him down, gets a top rope moonsault for 2. Super Crazy hammers in the corner, but Mikey fights him off, gets a hard knee and a guillotine leg drop for 2. Joel says Super Crazy Spanish, so there can't be a guillotine. He's not super croissant. Mikey gets an atomic drop and a side leg sweep for 2, but Crazy catches him out of the corner, snaps him down with a powerbomb and a springboard moonsault, and picks up the win. Guido attacks Crazy, but Tajiri comes in and takes both out and stands tall. Another fun TV match with a hectic pace as both guys are shining through clean, hard ring work. Good stuff with Mikey. Finally has something good going on, like we've talked about. And a good post-match to hype up next week as well. So I went 2.5 stars.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I went 2.5 on it too. It was perfectly fine. I like that Mikey didn't come out with the fucking marionette still attached to him. That was a nice choice. Joel was on one during this match, just non-fucking stop going after anybody with a
Super
pulse.
Crazy brings the worst out of him.
It really, the guillotine line, like Jesus God, man, like it's very funny, but relax a little bit. So yeah, I mean it's a nice showcase for Crazy. I kind of wish it was more of a showcase for Mikey a little bit too, but like I get why they're showcasing Crazy because of that big match next week. So it was a perfectly fine TV match. So I went to 2.5 on it. Jenny,
take it easy. I did feel like it was kind of a showing out of Mikey because they said, this is his best showing since he came back, and I would tend to agree.
Yep.
Is he crazier than Super Crazy?
He's going to be
a different kind of crazy.
He's ultra crazy.
Ultra crazy.
Yeah.
Mikey's more like snapped, or Super Crazy is more like adrenaline junkie.
Yeah. Right.
I like Mikey's t-shirt. Looks extremely badass. And I ended up liking this match a lot. Super Crazy is always great. Mikey got a lot of good offense, and Crazy sells like a pro. So my question is, where was Daddy Mitchell? Like, if he's going to be the string puller, is he ever going to come out during a match? Is he going to try to help
he's been
Mikey
confined
in any
backstage
way?
quite a bit.
Yeah.
He came out when they did that Raven and Awesome with Francine arguing, and I feel like he hasn't been at ringside since then.
No.
So I feel like maybe that's what this match needed too, is some sort of appearance by Mitchell, some sort of fuckery, interference, or whatever. But I did end up liking. I did 2 3/4.
All right, so let's roll on. We go backstage. Tommy says in the year 2000, a bounty has been placed on his head, and it's a joke. All these guys are trying to collect, but he has real money, and he'll double the bounty for any man that could actually take him out. He knows why Raven won't face him. They fought so many times before. They know each other like the back of their hands. Tommy punches the lockers, says he hates the back of his hand right now. When Raven gets out of his pill-induced stupor for a moment, he'll realize that through the failed gimmicks and unsuccessful stays elsewhere, he's nothing without Tommy Dreamer. He can claim he hates him, but Raven knows he needs him. Raven can blame his dad for his messed up life, but if he looks under his hair, piercings, and tattoos, he's just a 36-year-old man that needs to realize the person he hates most is himself. And without Tommy Dreamer, there's no Raven. Good stuff from Tommy here. I thought, one of his better promos, and really sums up his issues with Raven pretty well. And it's true. It's like, with no Penguin, there's no Batman. With no Piper, there's no Hogan, right? Like the hero always needs that foil. So you can say both ways. Without Raven, there's no Tommy. Without Tommy, there's no Raven. So
right, but I agree. But then what do you do now? Like, are you going to keep fighting each other? Is that what you're doing? Is it always going to be them fighting each other like Batman?
No.
Like, I guess I don't hate that.
7 more months.
Yeah, well, you know,
at most.
but,
in theory, forever, but for right now, we know it's.
What if forever? What if forever was 8 months? Yeah.
Part of me is like, that's boring, and part of me is like, I kind of like that as like extreme, like promotion, long storytelling, and a pairing for all time. Like I think in your mind, you always think Tommy, Dreamer, Raven. Like I do. Like totally. I think of them as a pair. To Tommy's point. So, I mean, I thought Tommy was great in this, and it's like I don't want them to be friends either. I don't know what I want. I don't know.
It's ECW,
I enjoyed the complication.
ECW Jesus and the devil.
Yeah, maybe.
I was gonna say he was just like ECW Jesus, yeah. But I mean, honestly, to your point, where's the lie with Dreamer? What he said about Raven, like you guys said. I mean, it does feel like we are going down the path of a one-on-one match between these two. Like they have to do it at some point. They keep talking about each other. Just do it. You know, it feels like we're going down that path. So if it ends up being like the final one and then they split off from there, that might make sense. But it does feel like at the very least we're going to have one more match. And of course, as always, Dreamer just fucking destroys a locker backstage. I like to imagine there's just like a pile of lockers that ECW owns, like in the back of the fucking ECW arena, just this pile with all of Tommy's DNA on it. But yeah, this was.
And when we do our final episode, we're going to do some like, our top wrestler of all time and this and that, and I'm sure we'll get into like best feuds, right? And Tommy Raven will probably be top of the list. I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Gotta be.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we got our OneWrestling.com Extreme Replay. That's Tajiri taking out Guido and Super Crazy. Joey and Joel hype up next week, and then the Baldies are back for action. Angel will be taking on Tommy Dreamer. Joey and Joel argue over the bounty as Dreamer stalks to the ring with his fist taped. Joey says Tommy knows he's walking into a numbers game and he's fearless and giving them a chance to cash in. Tommy gets the mic and says there's 3 Baldies and one of him, and he is sure there's some hardcore drunk enough in the audience to take it to the extreme. He calls for the music, and out comes the Sandman, and now we have a handicap match, but it's the Baldies taking on Tommy Dreamer and Sandman. Sandman makes his way through the crowd. Joel wonders if he's sober enough to walk down the steps. Tommy takes out some barbed wire as we head to the break. We come back with some quick highlights of what we missed, which seemed like a lot. I mean, there's a lot of weapons in the ring. Like, there's a little bit much to buy into that much went down in like 2 minutes. But obviously they shaved more off of here. We come back live. Tommy slams Angel off the top into some barbed wire, gets a pop. Tommy puts Angel on the ladder. Joey shits on TNN's crappy content, calls Cyrus a jagoff. Tommy wraps wire around his arm and drops an elbow off the middle rope, but Grimes moves and he bangs into the ladder. Sandman sets up the ladder in the corner, but Angel reverses a whip and throws him into it. Grimes canes Sandman and chokes him with it. As Angel grabs the mic, it says it's always 3-on-1 with the Baldies, and Tommy just keeps playing himself. As soon as he drops the mic, Raven's music hits, and in comes Raven. He's wrapped in tape and still bloody, but he cleans house on the Baldies with a chair. Dreamer and Sandman clear out the ring. Raven finishes DeVito with a DDT. So essentially became a 6-man, I guess. We didn't get to see much of this here, but what we did was pretty hot and fun, and a good ending with Raven getting a dominant beatdown and sending the Baldies to retreat. And some good bumps, too. So if you want to do a little of our favorite Jenny extrapolation on that, you can kind of piece together. I went about 2 stars from what we saw. It's maybe 2.5 if you extrapolate out what we didn't get to see.
We haven't extrapolated.
We haven't had to. We don't get as many clip matches like we used to back in the day where they would hack everything up all the time.
Yeah, I think if I had seen the whole match, I probably would have gone higher on it because it looked fun as hell with all the weapons, barbed wire and shit. And we're not you didn't mention the post match, but Raven,
we'll do that in a second.
Yeah. What does this mean? Like, what does this mean? Like, is he like, does he want to fight Tommy? He just hates the Baldies. I don't think that's part of it. I just don't get why.
I think he's solely focused on revenge for earlier. Like, they kicked the shit out of him, and he's pissed. They blamed him for the fucking bounty, and he just wants revenge. Like, I don't think he cares about Tommy at this point.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know why Raven would care about that, but that's me. That's all I have. 2.25.
Yeah, I went 2 1/4 on it too. Just not much here. I mean, we didn't see a lot of this match, but what we did see, like, it was good, but just not enough. The Raven thing, the Baldies thing, not the Raven thing. It's just super weird throughout this entire episode. Like, why are we getting the Baldies involved in this? The Baldies somehow make Raven come out and interfere and help Dreamer and Sandman, 2 of his, like, the most hated people in ECW. Like, I know he likes fucking with people, but this is like, okay, maybe Raven's finally lost it and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing anymore. But just kind of weird, the whole Raven thing. And you have the Dreamer promo where he basically says, "I hate you, Raven, I made you." And Raven comes out and helps him. It's just, the whole thing is kind of weird. So yeah, I went 2 1/4 on it. There's the match.
Well, too is always Raven playing mind games too, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh no, Tommy! Like I'll save you. You know, like you never know where he's going at too with what he's doing at all times as well. So.
Yeah.
All right, Raven sits in the corner and stares at Dreamer and steps up to him. Tommy clears the ring of weapons as Mike Awesome's music hits. He stomps out with Jeff Jones. Awesome gets to the ring with the mic, and Joey assumes he's here to back up Raven. Awesome says they have no reason to have an issue with each other as Raven did not put the hit on Tommy, and that's a fact because they were tag partners and he knows he wouldn't do it. Jones says Raven didn't take out the hit. It was me. Awesome crushes Tommy and Raven with a double clothesline, grabs a table, powerbombs Raven through the table, sets up another in the corner, lays a title on it, and drives Tommy through with a running powerbomb. So this was like a wild scene, and it's an interesting twist. But let's do the backstage thing quick too, and we'll talk about the whole thing. So Awesome and Jones are backstage. Jones says he put the bounty in Tommy's head because he's been watching old territory tapes and figures they always had bounties. So for his amusement, he did one too and figured he'd blame Raven. Awesome throws Jones against the locker and grunts and tells him shut up, and he wants his payoff for kicking Tommy's ass. Jones hands over the cash and begs off, but Awesome demands more money because he took out Raven as well. Jones panics but pays up. Awesome says he has money in his pocket, food on his plate, and the world title on his shoulder because he's Mike Awesome. Jones is a complete fucking loser here. Like, it's a weak payoff to the bounty. Yep. I did not like this at all. Like, it was confusing. Raven and Awesome were like a pretty good team. I know they had the kind of the weak ending of the title run, but like, why would he turn on the ally there and recertify like Raven and Tommy back on the same side? And then for like Jones to just be like, oh, I just did the bounty for fun. Like,
yeah,
why does he really care? Like, if someone was going to do it in frame Raven, it should have been someone that has a vested interest in splitting Raven and Dreamer. And Awesome doesn't have that because him and Raven have been tag partners. So like, it should have been Mitchell doing it, would have been cooler because then you could say he's trying to get Raven more to the dark side and really get a, or even Francine would have made sense. You know what I mean? Like trying to have her and Raven be in on it or her on Raven's behalf or something to get Tommy back. Like, this just made no sense that Jones did it for fun because he was watching old tapes. Like, it just, I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me. The highlight was Awesome kicking the shit out of everyone and telling Jones to shut up though, Jenny. So I did like that part, but
that double clothesline, he just crushes them totally. So that was good, but they frame it to where like he framed Raven to get at Tommy. Like, I don't know. I didn't understand the motivation.
He did it for fun is basically what he said. He's like,
right. Yeah.
I just figured I saw old tapes and it would be funny. And then I'll put it on Raven to take the heat off myself. I don't know. It was just stupid. It was weak. It was weak.
I did like Mike Awesome shaking him down for money because he also beat Raven. Yeah, like, what about Raven? I beat his ass too. So he was very, very scary. I don't blame Jones for cowering and probably pissing himself in the corner because, yeah, that was fucking scary as hell.
Yeah, I mean, Awesome's great. Like, he's not the problem in this.
Yeah, I know. The story is weak, whatever, but I didn't
just
really
thought it had
care
potential.
that much
Like, bounties
about
are good if they're done right. Like, bounties can be fun, but like, just to say, oh, I just did it for fun, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed weird.
It just feels like they didn't think it through. Like they started this and then they didn't have an end game. And then the end game is like, why did I do it? Because I fucking wanted to. Well, great. That was a gigantic waste of time. Thanks for that.
Sure, that'd be Lawler coming back and doing it. That would have been
well, I mean, the whole thing was the post match was really good with Awesome fucking killing everybody. But then they lost me with Jeff Jones being a jackass backstage. So
yeah, he looked like a bitch there too.
Yeah, just real weird.
Anyway, all right. Before we wrap up, we do have one last thing to talk about. There's Pulp Fiction. Cyrus cuts in to talk to the Impact players. He's all pumped up about how everything's up for them. And Jason and Dawn bicker over who gets their spotlight time. We get Jazz calling out Dawn. Cyrus is in with Rhino. They talk about RVD's return next week to TNN. He says RVD's back in time to see Super Crazy lose the TV title. And the company RVD left behind has changed and been redesigned by the network. And RVD will now take orders from him and beatings from Rhino. And then Rhino threatens death on RVD. So pretty quick Pulp Fiction to wrap up the last couple minutes, Connor.
Yeah. Again, the Impact players in a fucking echo chamber. Get them a microphone so we can hear what the fuck they're saying.
Or just stop talking to them.
That too. Either one would work. Dawn's heels clacking as she was having the tantrum backstage fucking destroyed me. That was sounded like she was Savion Glover fucking tap dancing backstage. Fucking hysterical. It killed me. Yeah, it's a short Pulp Fiction, but it was a good one. Cyrus freaking out as Rhino was slamming his head into the locker was also great too. He was freaking out like there was a fucking earthquake backstage. That was very funny to me. So yeah, for as quick as this was, it was super entertaining, Jenny.
I like when he said, "You'll take orders from me and beatings from Rhino." That was
that was really good.
Yeah,
I actually wrote that line down too because it was really good. I thought Dawn Marie was quite annoying in this. I don't know. I can't wait to watch Jazz just like beat her ass. And I want them to have like a real. I don't know. They probably won't. They'll probably just keep doing this cat fight bullshit. But I like Jazz getting a little bit of promo time. She's quite good, Mm-hmm. And Rhino looked like an actual caged rhino in that fucking locker. Yep. It looked like he was hurting himself, like slamming himself into that. Like, fuck, that's kind of scary too. Very, very effective promo with Cyrus and Rhino.
He's been watching Dreamer destroy lockers, and Rhino wanted in on some of it.
They did pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our awards. Best match, I had Cash and Carino.
Yep.
Pretty sure.
Worst, I went the Baldies main event there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Best moment, I went the Puppeteer.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I would too.
Most 2000, this Joey mentions Mikey's sojourn to Atlanta. So there wasn't much else going on, but that was definitely a thing in this era. People going to Atlanta, then returning home quickly.
Yep.
Stock Rising, Father Jim, Carino, Cyrus, Raven, Dreamer, awesome. Falling, I went TNN as usual. The Baldies and Jeff Jones, who just looked like an
Jones.
Idiot. Yeah, for sure. Put his name twice. Bum.
I was 7 out of 10. I mean, this is kind of a baseline TNN episode. They're all really good. But I didn't think this had like that next level gear that some of the TNNs have had where it's like an all-time segment or all-time match or something. Like this had really good stuff, and it definitely had some storyline progression. There's no like classic match and no like big moment to like bring it up a level, but it was consistently very good.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. We got a lot of storylines going on. So yeah, I thought this was very good. I did the 7 out of 10 as well.
Same. It's on the lower end as far as TNN goes, but I still thought it was a good episode. So 7 for me.
All right. So that's the next day, the April 8th, 2000 Hardcore TV. Roadkill and Danny Doring are backstage. Doring says it's bad enough he would go through the airport with Elektra and tell his mom, or be told his mom is hot. And his Danaconda still burns like a flamethrower whenever he pees. And if a blind man saw Elektra's face, he'd puke on himself. And even though she's 7 doors down backstage, the stench is so bad he'll never eat tuna again. And Roadkill pinches his nose and says chickens. Pretty hot start for the Danaconda here, Matt.
I'll teach him how to eat tuna.
Like this with your pinky.
Start with this.
Killing me.
Yeah. My God. This change with him having this just fuck Elektra forever personality. Like, it's literally his whole personality. It's fucking fantastic. I love every second of it. Apparently, it burns now when he pees, which is a real problem. But and he'll never eat tuna again. Not with that fucking attitude. But just fucking hysterical. It was great. Loved it.
You should just make sure he's not eating spicy wings and then peeing, because that could cause a reason to be burning like that.
Yeah, that would do
the rub gets in place.
The history there.
Yeah.
His crash out over Elektra is very hilarious to me, and that people at the airport says your mom's hot, like really good. It's really good. So I think this should be his entire personality.
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm totally down for it. I was cackling.
Joey kicks off the show. He says Elektra has vowed to get naked if the Dangerous Alliance loses, and they will document it on film. We then get our opening animation, which had a nice return of our lyrics theme. I always like when they randomly like. What do you think that like Paul is just like hi, and he's just like yeah. Let's bring back the intro with the singing.
I love a good Gregorian chant. Let's try this.
Do we think that's Joel Gertner doing those
singing
lyrics? Yeah,
I think it's Paul.
There's not enough casual racism for it to be Joel.
Did
It
he
could
say
be the Harry Slash guy that does the song too.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh yeah.
I think it sounds like Paul though.
That is so dumb.
They love it. They don't get enough of it. All right, to the ring we go. As Danny Doring and Roadkill are here to take on the Dangerous Alliance. The DA's in the ring. Louis tells the fans to shut up. He has a big announcement. He proclaims what everyone in Richmond and around the world know. He's the greatest manager in wrestling today. C-Dub Anderson, Wild Bill Wiles, and Elektra cheer him on as he wraps up his shtick and introduces them all. Doring and Roadkill emerge. We go to break. We come back. The match has started, which seems to be becoming a new ECW TV trope where we get the intros and then a break and then the match is like kind of joined in progress. I feel like they've been doing that lately now. C-Dub's hammering on Roadkill in the ring. Roadkill roars back with a power slam. Doring shoots Wiles into the railing outside, slides in, whips C-Dub into a Roadkill sidewalk slam. Doring and Roadkill work together to beat on the DA. They stooge around to a pop. Wiles recovers with a tilt-a-whirl power slam on Doring. Chokes away, but C-Dub comes in with a hammerlock sit-out slam for two. Chops away. Misses a running charge to the corner. Doring snaps him down. Roadkill and Wiles both tag in. Roadkill cleans house. Doring is back to hit a heart attack on C-Dub. Roadkill slams Wiles. Doring drops the Conda off the top. Roadkill goes up as well, but Louis shoves him off through a table at ringside. Wiles then nails Doring, but Lou bops Wiles with the phone by accident. Doring turns, walks into a C-Dub spine buster, and the DA win the match. Doring sneaks up and yanks off Elektra's coat. We see she has a skimpy outfit, but we would not get full nudity tonight as a DA win. This is all right. Kind of a chop shop match with no flow. The heat was pretty good to see Elektra's tits. But kind of a tough loss. Like Doring and Roadkill had been on the verge of a world title shot. Like this was like, a top team. And it's like they decided, well, we're not really going to put the belts on you guys because these are main event belts. And like it feels like now they sound like they've peaked. Okay, so now you just kind of go back to this other shit. You kind of had your run. Because to lose to Wiles and C.W. Anderson, that's a tough look, given even with the interference. So star and 3/4 from me, Jenny. It's like, and we talked about it. It almost felt like they needed like a TV tag titles. I think really would have helped these other teams. Like let them other world titles be main event level. They've earned it, fine. But then have these TV tag titles that could be defended regularly on hardcore TV or whatever it is, and Doring and Roadkill and Nova and Chetty and like these other groups can all kind of battle over them.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. And I mean, I do love that spine buster that he busts out at the end. But this is like a 2-star match for me. And I don't like seeing Doring and Roadkill fucking lose anymore. So I guess they're like my Favorite tag team now, Maddie?
Yeah, I mean, I went a gentlemanly 2 stars on it. It feels like every time they take a step forward, they take like 2 back immediately after. It's just super fucking weird. So, I mean, the match was technically fine, but like, why are they?
Because their ceiling is capped. Like,
yeah,
they're not going to beat the Impact players right now for the tag titles. So there's nothing else for them to do. So they're in this feud with Elektra now, basically with the turn.
But they should still beat the damn Dangerous Alliance.
Well, but they want it to be a feud, so now this will be a
no,
rematch and whatever else. And it's like, I think the concept of the DA beating them is fine. It's just that it's fucking Bill Wiles. It's like, this guy's like been like a jobber to the jobbers, you know, like forever.
Yeah, right.
So
Exactly.
I feel like they need one more guy, and they kind of tried with Watts, and like they've had other guys kind of come and go, but I feel like they need one more worker of the group to team with Anderson or to be like the main worker. Like they don't really have that right now. I don't know who off the top of my head there is, but like, I don't know. There's gonna be someone else that can stick in here that has nothing else going on.
Yeah. So I mean, it is a match that happened, gentlemen's 2.
I did like watching Roadkill go to the top rope.
Yeah.
And then get shoved off into the table.
Yeah, that was good. That was probably the best spot of the match.
All right. Joey's in the nest. He takes us to a match that happened in Richmond in December of 1999 that had never been seen before. And that is Rob Van Dam versus Spike Dudley. So we join the match in progress. We get a flurry of offense and a pin attempt by Spike. RVD counters a dropkick with a catapult. Spike bounces through a clothesline for 2. RVD slows up with a stiff backflip splash, dumps him to the floor for a spin heel kick. Spike slides in. RVD comes out, drop kicks him back off the apron, barrels into him with a somersault senton. RVD uses a Fonzie distraction. He levels Spike with a spin kick to the face, kicks away, throws Spike to the railing twice. Fonzie barks at Spike and RVD throws him into the post and yet again into the railing twice more. RVD hotshots Spike on the railing, drops a guillotine leg drop on him. The crowd is loving it. RVD mashes Spike with a Van Damme off the railing, hits another guillotine leg drop off the rail onto Spike as he's laying on the apron. Back inside, RVD gets 2 on a corkscrew leg drop, and Spike turns that into a crucifix, though, for a near fall. RVD's up with a spin heel kick for 2, and then lays in the boots. RVD hits a springboard leg drop for a near fall. Spike sneaks in a victory roll for 2. RVD recovers with a pop-up dropkick for 2, gives Spike some mock applause before dropkicking him in the face. RVD skateboards a chair to Spike for 2, puts Spike up top. Spike knocks him down and snaps into a chair with a tornado DDT. Spike dropkicks a chair into RVD's face for 2, hits a low dropkick, cradles for a near fall. He takes RVD to the floor with a Rana, meets him with a wild plancha that drives them both into the crowd. Spike hits an acid drop across the railing, nails RVD with a chair shot off the top. Back of the ring, RVD eats a boot on a charge. Spike gets a Rana for 2. Fonzie piles up some chairs in the corner. RVD throws one at Spike while he's on the top rope. Spike fights off RVD, gets a Rana onto the chair for 2. He loads the acid drop, but RVD counters by flinging Spike into the pile of chairs and then finishes with the rolling thunder, a body slam on the chair, and then a very heavy 5-star frog splash for the win. A very cool match. I had a different approach with a lot of action on the floor using the railing and the post and the chair. Spike took a vicious shit kicking with RVD just pummeling him. The crowd was into it too. Spike hung as usual, just never quitting until his body gave out. And this is kind of a lost classic. Like, we haven't seen either of these guys wrestle now in a while, so it's kind of cool to see them during their time away, break up the weight, and hard-hitting brawl with real fight vibes. I know for sure RVD's back. I don't know if we're going to see Spike before the promotion ends. I have no clue. So this is a chance. Like, there is a chance this is it. And for him, I don't know. I'm not like leading anything. I really not sure. You see him again, but given how long they said he'd be out, it just feels like we may not get him. So if not, and this is kind of the last we see of him, it was kind of a cool way to go out versus how he did go out. So Matt went 3.5 stars on this, classic throwback match and rated it and reviewed it because we had never seen it.
Yeah, I went 3 3/4 on it. It's a hell of a match, and it felt to me like they did this as like a, hey, don't forget we have RVD and he's fucking great.
It's like a reminder for next week, kind of.
Yes.
Like he's coming back, and hey, for those that maybe knew and don't know who RVD is or what he's about, this is him.
That's exactly what this felt like to me, and it also reminded me just how on another level RVD was compared to the rest of the roster. Like, I know he hasn't been gone for long in the grand scheme of things, but like, holy shit, you forget just how much the crowd loved him and just ate up every single fucking thing he did in this match. Like, just super impressive and just had the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand for everything. It was fucking awesome to see. So it's a hell of a match. Spike got his ass kicked throughout most of this. The finish was brutal with the frog splash on the chairs. There was also one part where there was a comically long censorship beep at ringside when Fonzie and a fan got into it.
Yes.
I think that beep lasted like a minute and a half, it felt like. So I'm sure there was nothing problematic being said there because, oh boy. But yeah, this was a hell of a match. And like, this is a thing, honestly, they could do, like, if you have a particularly light episode of hardcore TV, just, like, say, hey, we're going to go back to 1998 and watch a fucking Sabu match that's never been seen before. Like, this is a thing they could do from time to time if they are particularly light on an episode of hardcore TV. So I like it from that aspect, too. But, yeah, this was a hell of a match, Jenny. 3 3/4.
I totally agree. But I am just gobsmacked at the idea of a lost match. Because, like, why would you not put this somewhere? Like, why is it lost?
No.
You know, it's like, what? I felt like it was a work. It's like, I was like, are you sure we haven't seen this? And then
I did look back, to see, and it wasn't there.
No.
And it's not, I don't know how much they're doing like VHS and stuff anymore either. Like, right, they used to kind of record stuff to sell on tape, but we don't see those ads. I'm sure Rocco can clarify, but yeah, I mean, they are running house shows and different stuff. So there's a chance it was just a house show match they filmed, and it wasn't whatever. But
I mean, I went fuck it 4 on this because I was so into this. Like Maddie said, there's something about the crowd and RVD. Like, they were just hooked on him. Like, he was just, and he looked like he was having so much fucking fun with Spike. Like, and it kind of hurt my heart, you know, because he gets hurt like not long after this. And I'm like, he was like untouchable as a wrestler. Like, I don't know. It was so impressive. I love Spike. He does get his ass kicked, as he often does, but I ended up really loving this. I miss RVD. I worry that RVD cannot come back and be this high level after his injury. So I guess I'll see that, but this was fantastic, and I can't believe it was like a lost match.
All right, we go back to the ring now in real time as Chris Chetty takes on Justin Credible. Jason leads out Credible for singles action. Chetty's already in the ring. We're playing off the narrow escape from the Impact players with the belts against Chetty and Nova. After a break, we ease in. Joey says the players are refusing to put the belts up against Nova and Chetty again. Credible lays in a chop and a kick. Chetty comes back with a scissors kick and some punches. Chetty throws Credible hard to the corner. Credible avoids the Amityville Horror. Credible tries That's Incredible, but Chetty rolls through for 2. Credible dodges a side kick, drills a super kick, hammers away in the corner before pancaking him for 2. Credible slams Chetty, hits a hard elbow off the middle rope for 2, goes to a chin lock. Chetty works free, gets a sunset flip for 2. Credible meets him with a lariat. As they get up, Credible stomps away, and then Jason chucks him a chair. Credible goes up top, but Chetty gets the boot up and drives the steel back into Credible. Credible whiffs on a baseball slide, bangs into the post. Chetty chops away, hits him with a side kick for 2. Chetty dodges the drop kick, slingshots Credible to the top rope, and rolls him up. But Jason yanks the ref to the floor for the save. Lance Storm is in, but Chetty ducks and Storm nails Credible. Chetty wipes out Storm, hits the Amityville Horror, and it gets the upset win over Justin Credible. Jason and Storm come in. They wipe out Chetty, stick him with a spike pile driver. This match is mid as it gets. Probably below mid, honestly. Chetty was off on a few moves. Credible telegraphed a ton of spots. Chetty wins, but it felt weak. There was no intensity. There was no flow. It felt like an exhibition of moves. The post-match was good, but Chetty's going nowhere fast, like Sanka and Cool Runnings. So going nowhere fast in here. Excited as hell about it. Win or not, whatever for Chetty. 1.25 for me, Jenny. Garbage.
Man, this is fucking dumb. I hated every minute of this shit.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't like it. This is a match that should have never been seen. Okay.
Right. Yeah, totally.
I did love Credible losing, just randomly losing. That was stupid. I like.
Why isn't this Doring and Roadkill?
That's what I was gonna say, because they said they're not getting another chance. Nova and Chetty ain't getting another chance. So what the fuck else you gonna do anyway? So
right.
Yeah, I did like 1 star, but it was very begrudgingly.
Well, I was the high man on this match. I went a whopping 1.5 on this, you guys.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, this was a fucking mess. The part of this match that stuck with me is Chetty at one point sets up a chair in the corner, and then the chair falls, and Chetty ends up slingshotting Credible into the opposite corner that the chair wasn't in. He's a fucking disaster. I don't know what his problem is, but it's like, boy. And then they have him win. Besides, I know you enjoyed the Credible thing, but losing, but it's like, holy shit, he's losing to Chris Chetty on fucking syndicated TV. Just, yeah, real mess. 1.5 for me on this.
All right, so Nova comes out to make the save. He grabs a mic and wants a match with Lance Storm right now because they want to sweep the champions. So that does lead us to our next match, where it is Lance Storm versus Nova. Dawn Marie comes out as Storm agrees to the fight. Storm slides in, trades blows with Nova. Storm misses a dive to the corner. Nova hits a bulldog and kicks away. Storm goes low, drills a standing dropkick and a lariat, followed by a hard back elbow and a baseball slide dropkick. Storm lands a high knee, works the midsection, but Nova is able to sneak in a sledge-o-matic to slow him down. Storm fends off some punches, slings Nova to the ref. Credible's in. Nova fights him off, hits a kryptonite crunch and covers, but the ref is out. Dawn Marie is in, pelts Nova with her shoe, poses, but Jazz is in to wipe out Dawn with a fisherman suplex. Jason comes in, but Jazz slips out of a powerbomb and hits a Jazz stinger. Credible's in and canes Jazz and holds Nova, but Nova ducks and Storm super kicks Credible, and Nova hits the Nova cane on Lance Storm for the win. And the Impact players then leave Nova and Chetty. Nova and Letty. Jesus Christ. Nova and Chetty laid out. Storm talk shit.
Letty was here, Fast and Furious. Holy
Letty
shit.
this end, please. This was a little better than the other match, but was rushed and not smooth. And it's Nova, who we like. The finish was obvious too, but like, what the fuck? Like, Storm has been so protected for 2 years, mega protected. I think we'd have to really count on one hand how many people have pinned him clean. And outside of like RVD, I don't know if there's many others, honestly. Like, I don't know how many times he's lost. Like, when the Impact players have lost, it's usually Credible. Like, he has been super, super, super protected. To lose on hardcore TV to Nova in like a 5-minute match, like, it felt completely unnecessary. Like, Nova and Chetty are a milquetoast team. They're not going anywhere. Again, if this is like Roadkill getting the cool win over Storm, like, that's something. Or just have like this be a fuck finish and they all brawl, like, without the pin. Like, I'm not super caring usually about like losses and wins, like in ECW especially, but like, this to me is a guy that has not lost. Like, this made no sense at all. It's out there with the Awesome Raven, and at least I had the pay-per-view time thing as an excuse. Like, this has no excuse to be this poorly booked. So, and the Impact players get their heat back right away. They beat the shit out of both guys. So it's like, what do those wins really do for Nova and Chetty? So 1.75 for me on this one. The match sucked and the booking was worse.
Yeah, I mean, I went the same rating as I did the last one. I went 1.5 on this too. It's a very similar thing. It's a weird fucking time to do. Like, especially, it's bad enough you do this, but to do it when the Impact players just got the belts back too, like, it's real fucking stupid. Like, it makes no sense. You're doing it for Nova and Chris Chetty, who
on the same night that Doring and Roadkill lose to the fucking Dangerous Alliance,
right?
Too.
So it's like, are we just gonna not have a tag division, or are we trying to rebuild a tag division? And
we were making great strides like weeks ago. You know, we were like, oh, this is red hot. Doring and Roadkill were on fire. The DA was kind of coming up a bit. They're feuding with Nova and Chetty. That's fine on the lower card. Like,
it's all of a sudden,
Sal and Guido, you know, that'd be a fun team too. Like, get them out of that TV title mix. Do the Sal and Guido as a team. Like
you're turning the tag division upside down for Nova and Chetty. Like, it's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I went 1.5 on it. The match is a whole lot of nothing. Like, it was a little bit better than the last one, but still not much. Jenny?
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing is what my notes say, basically. And I mean, I enjoyed Jazz coming in for her part, but look, I've seen that 17,000 times.
Right. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing.
Jazz comes in, attacks Dawn. Again, we've talked about it. A lot of this they do for the different towns. They rerun a lot of the same shit to get the pop in the town.
Yep.
But it does get a little repetitive when you're watching things the way we're watching it. It's like, okay, to your point. Yes, we've seen Jazz come in, the Jason comes in. And it's like, you know, you just wait for it at this point. That's the thing. You're kind of waiting for it in these matches. It's like, all right, you know, Dawn's coming in. So then it means Jazz is coming in. That means Jason's coming in. Like you're waiting for all three.
Yep. And you already know that Nova's going to win. So
this one's really obvious. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. I bumped it a quarter of a star for the Jazz of it all, but I don't know. I don't care. Like I don't care about any of this. I barely care about the champs.
We get Joey in the nest. He talks. We go to TNN. We get the bounty reveal from Jones and Awesome. And then Impact players talk shit on Nova Chetty. So best match was, thank God they showed us that classic with RVD and Sabu. RVD and Spike.
Right.
Worst match, I went Doring and Roadkill versus the DA, which, I mean, we had a bounty of choices tonight, which is not always the case for ECW. But
yeah, I'm going to do the Chetty match.
Yeah, same.
See, that one I sucked, but I had like the least annoying finish of the three. Like, Storm losing to Nova pissed me off, but at least it's like Nova. If Storm lost to Chetty, I probably would have lost my shit. But I think Doring and Roadkill losing to the Dangerous Alliance was like really crappy. So,
yeah.
Best moment, I went RVD's frog splash into the pile of chairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most 2000s, which tonight is most 80s for this one. Using old matches to fill TV time, like it's prime time in 1987.
Yeah.
Oh, we dug this classic out from 4 years ago to show you. We're 20 minutes short on the footage. So,
well, if we're doing 1980s, how about just the entirety of the Dangerous Alliance?
Fair.
Well, it's more early 90s, but yes.
Yeah.
Stock Rising, I just went RVD and Spike.
Yeah. On a match that's a year old, 6 months old, whatever.
Falling on Alexia's vagina, which took a verbal abuse.
Wow.
Okay. Doring and Roadkill and Chetty all had tough nights.
I didn't realize it fell. No wonder why it smells.
Well, it's been a rough night for it. Doring just shit all over it.
It smells like wow. And everybody's got a different kink, I guess.
Well,
so if Sinister Minister's with Elektra, does that mean he's using his pinky to?
It's like tuna meeting tuna. All right.
Final grade, I went 4 out of 10. Not a great episode. I mean, if without RVD Spike, it really would have been in the shitter. That's the only thing that carried it.
Yeah.
Not a good episode of Hardcore TV.
RVD saves another episode of TV.
From the past. Thanks.
He's like, I'm gonna have this great match for you to save for when you need it.
Thank you, time displaced RVD.
Yeah, no bueno tonight on this one. Richmond had a tough draw.
It's like he knew he was going to get hurt or something.
Yeah.
Like, put this one in the can for later.
They didn't even have a great TNN either, so it's kind of a tough draw for Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went 4 on it. It was rough.
What'd you have, Jenny?
Yeah, 4.
All right. Let's go to TNN to wrap up the night. April 14, 2000. Joey and Joel in the ring at the Flick in Buffalo. Exciting to be back here. The crowd's fired up. Joey says TNN is the only company that has hog calling at the company picnic. Joel does a shtick, a big pop and chant. You never done a hog calling?
No, I have not. I mean, I'm from Alabama, but no.
I'm waiting for a comment from Chad here or something.
Well,
I've never done hog calling. Do it proud in the South.
I guarantee you, Chad has not done hog calling.
Weirdly enough, we don't have hog calling in the Northeast.
Well,
we do. It's just not the same. It's the same.
I see.
Opening animation. We immediately come into a breaking news alert.
Oh God!
That Taz has shocked the wrestling world last night in Indianapolis, and we'll see that exclusive footage tonight on TNN. We join our first match as it's wrapping. We see Rhino cutting Cash in half with a gore and a pile driver to win. We get crowd chants for RVD, and Joey says we will see him here tonight. So not much there, just kind of clips.
Yeah.
Backstage, Jazz says she wants to kill Dawn Marie, but will not go to jail over that skank hoe. She kicks in the locker room door and meets with Sinister Minister, who's sitting quietly on a bench. Mikey's on the floor holding a playing card on fire. Jazz calls him Devil Man and keeps repeating she will not go to jail for a skank hoe. And then gives a very long rant that gets completely bleeped out. But essentially she says, I want some dark voodoo shit done on Dawn. Minister says he couldn't dream of turning down such a request from an alluring creature like Jazz, but it will cost her. And he says, we could drink a few beers and I'm in the mood for some sex. Jazz says he's a nasty, dirty little devil and he needs to get his ass in church. Jazz leaves and Mikey says, Padre, is she always such a wench or just on Friday? And Minister says he guesses she doesn't like to drink beer. Mikey starts a big fire in the pile of cards and they cackle. So this is a vibe here for sure. Jenny, would you have traded sex with Sinister Minister for voodoo shit on Dawn Marie?
It depends.
That's a hell of a question you just asked.
I'm gonna ask you, Matt, next. So be ready.
Yeah.
Great. I'll think of my answer.
I just enjoyed Jazz so much here because she was trying not to laugh so much.
Yeah.
Like it looked like she wanted to break, but she stayed, like she hung in there like enough. And then Mikey just playing with fire, randomly. Enjoy that. Devil Man popped me too. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
I'm in the mood for some sex.
I'm in the mood for some, and he wiggles his tongue at her too, like
give it to me.
Yeah, it was disgusting and arousing. Maddie,
you saw what I did to that tuna can. Think of the possibilities. This was a whole lot happening in this one short segment. Mikey's a pyromaniac puppet marionette now, apparently, so that's great. Sinister Minister's in the mood for sex. Jazz wants him to go to church, which I think might kill him. If he walks into a church, he might just burst into flames. So that's murder, quite frankly. But this was a whole lot, and it was fucking entertaining as hell. All this because she wants to kill Dawn Marie. Are you happy? You want to kill Dawn Marie, and this is what you get. So
his nails don't help me either. They're so gross looking.
Yeah, he probably still has tuna stuck under there.
It feels like very TNA Never Dies type of fun, crazy vibe.
No, thing's gross. All right, we get another breaking news alert about Taz, but no other details. And to the ring we go, because if you're worried that Chetty and Nova may see their wins go by the wayside for nothing, no, they are getting a tag team title match, and it's here. Chris Chetty and Nova taking on the Impact Players. Joey knows about those big singles wins on Hardcore TV earlier in the tour. They also eliminated Jason, so Dawn is solo tonight. We come back from break. The challengers are here, and the bell has rung. Joey says we're back on the Picking and Grinning network. Chetty and Credible start with a flurry of counters that ends in a Chetty victory roll for 2. We reset. Nova and Storm tag in. We go through some chain work from them. Pin attempts by both guys. Nova gets a pop-up mule kick, tags Chetty for a double hip toss, elbow, and splash combo. The challengers clear the ring. The players are in some trouble early. Nova meets them with a huge splash off the top to a loud ECW chant. He pitches Storm back inside. Nova fights off the Impact Players briefly until they swarm. Storm hits a big leg lariat to slow him down. The champs get to work some double teams and quick tags. Joel keeps mixing in sex jokes about Dawn as always. Storm chops away at Nova. Nova comes firing back. Storm drops down on a charge and rolls into a single leg crab. Tags Credible, who cranks a headlock, gets a swinging DDT. Tags Storm. Storm calls for a table. Credible slides one in and gets loaded into the corner. Storm paintbrushes Nova, but Nova recovers with a Novocaine. Both men tag. Chetty cuts through Credible with a flurry of strikes. Hits the Amityville Horror. Storm makes a save. Nova pulls Credible outside. Storm dodges a side kick. Gets 2 on a super kick. Nova's in. Gets a swinging DDT on Storm for 2. Nova rolls up Storm. Storm kicks out. Drives him into a cane shot by Credible, but Storm only gets 2. Credible charges, but Chetty flings him through the table with a hip toss for 2 as Dawn makes a save. Jazz is out and bulldogs Dawn and hammers away on her. Storm buries Jazz with a pile driver, but Chetty gets up and loads a powerbomb. Credible comes in and hits Chetty with the belt, and the Impact Players retain the titles. This was actually kind of fun. It was much better than the single slot from last weekend, and even the tag from a couple weeks back. This is the best of the bunch. The crowd was into it too, which helped. It hummed along and never really slowed up. I thought the Impact Players were a good mix of vulnerable while also being in control. Like you never really thought they were in trouble. It was a good finish too, as they win without Jason. So Matt went 2 3/4. Like that was fine. Much better than what we just saw.
Yeah, considering what we saw on Hardcore TV, I was expecting this to be a borderline disaster, but it was actually pretty solid. I went 2.5 on it. Probably the best Chetty has looked since he came back, which was interesting. Like he finally decided to show up, which was nice. it's a fairly basic match, but at this point, given how this fucking feud has gone, I'll take basic and solid at this point between these two teams. And for, given how much of a disaster Chetty has been, anything is an upgrade over what he's been like. So it was fun. The hip toss through the table was really good and well done. So it's basic, but I think at this point, basic is kind of all Chris Chetty can do. So let's kind of keep it at that level. So it was a fine tag title match for me, Jenny. I went 2.5.
It's funny you kept saying basic because I literally wrote like basic on here. Like I don't know. I just it didn't really do much for me. You said picking and grinning. I think you meant picking and grinning. Because that's what they do on TNN.
Right.
I don't know. I 2.5. I don't care. Like it's just. It is what it is. I don't know.
It's all right. We got bigger fish to fry anyway.
I won't like that any better. So
Joey takes us to a live interruption. We head back to Indianapolis last night, where Mike Awesome and Jeff Jones are in the ring. Taz's WWF music fires up. At least I assume, unless it was dubbed in. He stalks out to a huge pop. Jeff Jones loses his shit as Joey tells us Mike Awesome showed up unannounced in Indy, just like he did a Monday night on Nitro to beat up Kevin Nash. Joey says the entire locker room was wiped out by Rhino and the network earlier, but of all people, Taz is here to stand up for ECW and stand up to Mike Awesome. Joey wonders if WWF even knows Taz is here. Mike Awesome sold his soul to WCW. So I'm going to cover the match. We'll talk about the match, and then we're going to talk about the behind the scenes after that. So we have Taz versus Mike Awesome. Taz steps on the apron. Awesome stalks around the ring as the crowd chants, "Holy shit." Taz flips off Awesome, stalks to the ring, as Joey says, talks about Anarchy Rules, where Taz lost to Mike Awesome. Taz and Awesome stand toe-to-toe. Awesome lands the first punch as the bell rings. They slug it out. Taz throws Awesome to the floor, unloads and shoots him to the railing. Taz keeps hammering away and shoots Awesome back in the ring. Joey says Awesome had a look of fear when Taz showed up. As Taz slides in and lands some kicks, Awesome reverses a whip, throws Taz into Jim Molyneux, takes him out. Jones tries to get a table into Awesome, but Tommy Dreamer's in, and he DDTs Awesome. Taz hooks the Taz mission, the Kata Hajime, and we have a brand new ECW World Champion, Taz, to a big pop. Taz celebrates with Dreamer. Awesome quickly gets out of there through the crowd, and Joey says he's leaving out the back door just like he came in. Wild stuff. Super historical in many ways, and a very huge moment. Taz steps up to help his old buddies out, but does feel quite disheartening to have yet another major ECW title reign and storyline forced to a rushed conclusion just for a guy to take a payday. Now, Mike Awesome should take the cash, given his age and his physical style. I am not in any way saying he should not take this payday, because he is a fucking maniac. His brain is completely scrambled from these chair shots. Like, if these idiots in WCW want to fucking pay you to go do that, whatever you're going to do there, go for it. But it does suck to not get that huge payoff. Like, we were a week away from RVD and Mike Awesome, or 2 weeks away, or whatever it was. And the crowd heat was insane. And I don't know if RVD was going to win or not. I assume he probably would have. And this whole thing would be at a completely different trajectory. Instead, RVD was hurt. The TV title was taken off of him. And now Mike Awesome's reign ends this way. No clue. We'll see if Taz hangs around. Is it just a way to quickly get Awesome out of there, but give the fans a moment? Kind of the classic ECW way. So in 2.5, just for the match. I like that Dreamer's involved, because it feels like, okay, we get one kind of classic ECW guy in there to help rid the company of Awesome. It's obviously historically monumental, as we have a WWF wrestler beating a WCW wrestler for the ECW title. So that's kind of like a historical nod. Taz will also then go on to fight as ECW champion on SmackDown, which is interesting before they do the next step in this whole thing. So lots going on, Jenny. I know you're shell shocked, but what are your thoughts? We'll talk about the real stuff after. So just focus on like your reaction in the moment. Like, we'll get into the whys and what happened.
Well, as soon as this music hit, I knew it was going to happen. Like you said, I've fucking seen this shit before. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I wrote, fuck Taz. And then I gave it 0 stars because I hated it.
Why are you mad at Taz?
We're done with, we did Taz. Taz fucking left. Taz fucking left for his fucking payday. So fuck you coming back being the savior. No, thank you. Fucking no, thank you. I'd rather Guido fucking come in there and beat Mike Awesome and be fucking champ than Taz come back.
I do wonder if, and I don't know, anyone listening to Shoot Interviews or Rocco or whatever can tell me crazy or verify, like, did they pick Taz A for the shock of it and like to make it, you know, like they try and do, and also like, were they a little afraid that Awesome may shoot and like not lose the belt and leave with it again? Like
that would have been better.
Well, maybe they figured Taz at least was someone who could handle himself if like Awesome tried to pull any shit. Like I wonder if they did that. But I think
that's the other problem that I have with this, because I don't believe that Taz could come in there and beat Mike Awesome. Okay.
Well, he did.
And I don't know that the tap out. No, thank you. Don't care. Go into SmackDown to defend the title later.
I didn't say he defends it. He just wrestles as champion.
Well, no, thank you.
He loses to Triple H. So
no, thank
he doesn't defend it. He just loses.
I don't.
In like 5 minutes.
And that was like a very big moment on the internet at the time as well. Like people were fucking, like ECW fans were fucking pissed that he jobbed to Triple H as ECW champion.
Yeah, no. Like,
it definitely made like a lot of people not happy.
Like, I don't want him coming back being some kind of fucking savior and then going on TV and then fucking losing. Oh, all of it is just terrible, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough match to rate. Like, I had no idea what to fucking rate this because it was 2 minutes long. So I ended up at 2.5, but I don't feel comfortable about it. It's just the argument I see for this is why Taz, and I guess to your point, maybe it was like a shoot situation or something like that. But
I think this is classic ECW. It seems like they always try and like make you forget about the drama that just happened by doing something crazy, like Raven leaves. Well, here comes Jerry Lawler, right? It was always like one thing ends, the next thing happens.
Misdirection.
And I think if RVD was like, if this was like a month later,
right,
I would think they would have just hot shot at RVD, is my guess.
Yeah,
probably,
totally.
But he's not ready yet. So it's like, what do you do?
Right. I mean, the only argument I think would be either Dreamer or Sandman at this point, if you want to go to that quick, but like,
or Rhino.
Or Rhino at this point.
Give it to fucking Rhino.
There you go.
Or Carino, or it's just it's weird that they went through the energy to bring Taz in. I guess is kind of my point. Like, part of me wonders if Heyman picked up the phone and said, "Hey Vince, you want to stick it to WCW one more time?" And
I'm sure that was part of it.
And that's how he convinced him to show up.
He probably said you can use the belt on TV while he has it or whatever the fuck else. And
we both hate WCW. How about you shit on him again? It's something like that. But
and what is
plus it's an indie, so maybe they didn't want to have RVD or Rhino's big moment at a house show in Indy. Like that could have been part of it too, you know.
Yeah.
And what does it mean for the network versus ECW now? Like, what is Taz gonna? He's on another network.
Yeah.
So like,
I wouldn't get too used to Taz. He's not here.
Yeah.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's what happened. I mean, it's the reasoning's not a surprise. Like, so basically, on April 10th, he made a shock appearance on Nitro, helped the New Blood attack Kevin Nash, still ECW champion, obviously. He refused to sign a new contract with ECW unless Heyman paid him on overdue wages, which obviously was a big concern with ECW for many guys. And they didn't. So Heyman probably told him to fuck off. He's like, whatever. There were concerns over legal issues. So WCW, for once, kind of played it safe, and they didn't have Awesome bring the belt on TV. Eventually, they all reached a compromise where Awesome would go to Indy and put over Taz, and then we'll go from there. Awesome later said he would have rather have faced off with Rhino and suggested they would have put on a more entertaining match, regardless of circumstances and the manner of which he left ECW. So Awesome's WCW run would not be great. He turns into the 70s guy.
They never are.
But he's one guy, again, he's going to be thinking, like, I'm massacring my body in Japan and here. and I'm not even getting fucking paid by pay. Like, you can only do so much.
That I can definitely see the
so
pay
like
stuff.
if they're gonna give you $3 million or whatever the fuck they gave him, it's like, how do you not take that if you're him?
Yeah.
We just got fucked by RVD's injury because RVD beating Awesome at the pay-per-view and then Awesome is going to WCW would have
changed everything.
Yeah. RVD's injury really fucked everything up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Joey plugs the website. We have news about a half-naked Elektra, and that she may be pulling Mikey Whipwreck away from the Sinister Minister. So it's such a quick change from
hell of a follow-up.
All right. It is then time for our big three-way dance that we saw last week was hyped up, and this is for the TV title, as Tajiri, Super Crazy, and Little Guido are going to war for the TV title. Both Guido and Tajiri are promised they'd be the network's choice. Crazy's down, takes out both challengers, a springboard clothesline at the bell, stomps away at both. Tajiri levels him with a hard kick, hangs him in the trio. Whoa! Sal trips up Tajiri, crotches him on the post. Guido lands a baseball slide to Crazy, who sits up to avoid a second one, but Tajiri knocks him to the floor. Guido comes off the top of the Sicilian slice on Tajiri for 2. Super Crazy flies in with a missile dropkick to Guido. Tajiri gets a flying head scissors, sends Crazy sliding across the mat hard to the floor. Crazy yanks Guido off the apron. Tajiri meets him with an acai moonsault. And then Sal careens into him and bangs into Tajiri, shoots him to the railing, to the fans. Guido charges, but Crazy dips him into the fans as well. Sal charges, but Crazy dodges, and he bangs off the steel. Crazy leaps on Sal's back and springs off with a plancha into Guido and Tajiri. Crazy's back in the ring with a chair as Joel says Crazy benefits the most when Tajiri and Guido don't work together as was promised. Sal is in, but Crazy spins him to the corner, hammers with punches and a chair shot. Tajiri comes in and kicks the chair into Super Crazy. Guido gets 2 on Tajiri on a neck breaker. Guido gets a back suplex on Crazy for 2. We spill outside where Guido pancaked Crazy to the floor. Tajiri's out, lays in a hard kick. Guido sends him into the front row. Crazy's gushing blood as he gets hot shot on the railing. Tajiri sets up a chair in the ring, lays Guido across the seat, and then kicks the back of the chair into his face. Guido's bleeding now as well. Tajiri pelts him in the head with the chair again. Sal tries to help Guido, but Tajiri buries Guido with a drop kick, knocks him to the floor. Tajiri sets up a table. As Guido climbs the apron, Tajiri drop kicks the table into his face, which was brutal. Tajiri hammers away at Guido on the floor until Sal saves. Guido leg whips Tajiri into the chair that Sal's holding and then drops a leg. Guido is on fire, pissed off. He's laying in punches and elbows to Tajiri and Crazy on the floor. Shoots him to the chair again. Tajiri's bleeding now. Guido spikes him into the table back in the ring, keeps Super Crazy on the floor. Tajiri rallies, drop kicks Sal off the apron. He flops through a table. Guido hooks a sleeper, tries to Maratado, but Tajiri counters to a gory special. Slams Guido, drops some hard knees to the face, and chucks the chair at him. The blood-soaked Crazy's on the apron, but Tajiri murders him with a kick and slams 2 chairs on Guido before kicking Crazy down. Tajiri puts a table over Guido and the chairs and puts Crazy on the table. The crowd's buzzing. Tajiri goes up top. Crazy moves in time as Tajiri comes off the top with a double stomp to drive the table and chairs through Guido. Crazy and Tajiri cover, and Guido is eliminated and left for dead. He's bleeding out under the broken plunder until Sal drags him into safety. Tajiri batters Crazy with a chair. Crazy keeps bringing the fight. Tajiri gets an airplane spin into a bridging German for 2, but Carino and Victory are out. We get a loud RVD chant. Crazy powerbombs Tajiri, hits a moonsault for 2, sets up a table. Tajiri finds a crowbar, whacks Crazy in the back, grinds it into the cut. Crazy kicks Tajiri, grabs the crowbar. Now he jams it into Tajiri's cut. Crazy dodges the mist, but it hits the ref. He's out. Crazy powerbombs Tajiri through the table, hits a quebrada, but there's no count. In comes Rhino. Crazy dodges a gore, but Rhino turns and hits a second one. The crowd is begging for Van Dam as Rhino pile drives Crazy off the apron through a ringside table, throws him inside. Molyneux's up. Tajiri covers and is our new television champion. Sick match. Classic, loaded with innovative violence, hard strikes, great blood. Crazy looked like a murder victim with the blood-soaked white shirt. A lot of fun. Pay-per-view quality match on TNN. The 3 guys just let loose and wrecked themselves from bell to bell. I thought Sal was great. Just flawless interference and weaving in and out. The crowd carried up their end here in the flick. Violence and context, not for the hell of it. Just great stuff. I think the only thing that could have helped is if RVD came out and Crazy retained. Like, the arena would have went fucking nuts. But Jenny, you asked if I'm done with these guys, but after this match, no, I guess not, because this was fucking awesome.
It was fucking awesome.
I went 4.25 stars. it was tremendous. Just great stuff with high stakes too. It wasn't just like a triple threat for three-way dance for three-way dance sake. Like it had that, the title on the line and the storyline baked into it. Like there's a lot going on, and it worked really, really well.
They made me eat my words, didn't they? Like, oh, you getting bored? You getting bored with our matches, are you? Let's all just fucking
picking and grinning.
Picking and grinning, bitch. Fucking Guido under the table. That was amazing. Like literally everything was amazing in this match. Bless your heart for calling out everything too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I didn't even take notes. Like I just said, wow. Like, and I like the finish. Like I think Tajiri was a fucking madman on this.
Yep.
Not to discount Crazy, because I mean, the blood alone was incredible on his end, but I don't know. I love that fucking like insane energy that Tajiri brings, and I went 4.5, Maddie.
I'm right there with you. I went 4.5 on this. This looked like a fucking murder scene by the end of it, and I mean it in the best way possible. Just maybe the most insane. Hell of a murder. Fantastic murder.
Best murder.
Never been a better murder. The most insane pace I think they've done, where they just went fucking nonstop. This to me kind of felt like a blow off for these three guys, and maybe now after this they're gonna just split apart, because I mean, fuck, it's gonna be hard to top this one. They just beat the piss out of each other for 15-20 minutes, whatever it was. The finish was sick with the pile driver off the ring apron. He fucking puts the crazy and super crazy. Jesus Christ, what are you doing taking a bump like that, you maniac? Just a hell of a match. Tajiri gets one, which is good for him. He's the TV champ now, but yeah, just unbelievable match. And like a hidden gem, a match I knew nothing about. I had no idea. I had no idea this fucking existed, and then they go out there and have the best match these three guys have had with each other. So 4.5.
It's cool to give Tajiri the moment. They could have went right to Rhino, and it'll add some intrigue. Is Tajiri gonna give it to Rhino? Is he not? Yes. Like, is he with the network? So, like, how do we get to Rhino from here? So that's a cool touch as well. So,
yep.
Cyrus is out. He's celebrating as the network is with the gold. Cyrus says he's bigger than God, and that Tajiri will hand the title over to the network at CyberSlam in the ECW arena. Joey tries to process what's going on as Cyrus is ranting how he's drunk on power. And as soon as he mentions the word drunk, Enter Sandman fires up, and out comes a hardcore icon into the balcony. Sandman makes his way down as the network stands waiting. We go to break. We come back. Sandman's in the ring. He levels Rhino with cane shots, but Rhino stands up until the fourth one crushes him. Sandman cracks a beer and chugs it, and then batters Rhino with the cane. Cyrus stops Sandman. He shows off his badge as Joey begs for Sandman to take him out. Sandman contemplates. Cyrus keeps showing the badge. Sandman takes a swing, but Carino grabs the cane from behind. That allows Tajiri to miss Sandman. Carino hits a super kick, and then Rhino gores HG Loke through Sandman and two tables that are stacked in the corner. The network stands tall. The crowd in the flick is begging for Rob Van Dam. Joey is pleading, can anybody stop the network? And they let it build, and then Pantera finally hits, and out comes the man riding on Scotty Anton's shoulders, flanked by Fonzie. They get on the apron, but Cyrus stops them and says if RVD gets in the ring, they won't just strip him of his license or cancel the show. But Rhino cuts him off and says, if you get in the ring, I'll kick your fucking ass. Scotty hops in the ring and tries to stop RVD from getting in. But RVD hops in, shows that his ankle's better, and attacks and cleans out Carino, Tajiri, and Victory. He stares at Rhino to loud chants as we fade out. A red hot segment, pure fire. Hopefully it means RVD's getting there. The crowd's bananas. Buffalo, to me, has now entered the conversation with Queens and Philly as the top ECW towns. Like they've had a lot of big stuff. They're always lit for it.
Yep.
They're tremendous every time we go there. So the flick is on point. Just a great segment. And as usual with ECW, just when you think like they're out of tricks, right, they pull another one out their sleeve. So maybe a little bumming about the way Awesome's title reign ended. You're not sure what's going on with Taz. Well, here's a classic three-way dance filled with blood and the return of RVD and a red hot stare down with Rhino. So what'd you think of that?
Yeah, it's a hell of a post-match segment. To your point, it felt a lot like, hey, fuck that Mike Awesome guy. He's going to go schlub it in WCW. Look what we have. Look what we've done with this match and this post-match. To me, it feels like RVD's got to be close. Like if they're having him get in the ring and get physical and all that stuff, and he's hopping around, like he's got to be
true
close.
to put this last after the RVD, after the Taz
Yes.
thing. Like, don't end on that note. Remind us what we have, right? Like,
yes.
Right.
All right, Taz, we'll figure that shit out later. Awesome's gone, but fuck, this is like, and you know, in ECW, the TV title a lot of times been as equal to the world title. So like, you know, this is our fucking deal right here. The network versus ECW is our top feud. Awesome's been a great world champion, but he's not even feuding with anyone anyway. Like our number one feud right now is the network versus this, and RVD's coming back, and the TV title's on the balance. Like this is our number one feud, regardless of the world champion.
He left this to go do that, so it's. I had the same thoughts as you. It's just Rhino just fucking everybody up is fantastic. Poor HC. How many tables is Sandman gonna go through?
Oh my god!
Jesus fucking Christ! It's unbelievable. There's gonna be a pile of broken tables next to the
you would know.
pile
Stop
of
standing in
lockers.
front of the fucking table in the corner. Like, stop doing it.
Really. If there's a table there, move out of the way. But it's a hell of a closing segment. Hopefully RVD is going to be back sooner rather than later, and we can get RVD versus Rhino, which is like kind of like the money main event right now in ECW, which is wild. So it's a hell of a post-match segment, Jenny.
I mean, y'all said it. Taz who? Like, this is the comeback that I've been waiting for. Don't give a fuck. I wish that he had not rode in on Scotty's shoulders, if I'm being honest, because
it doesn't
scream, I'm ready to fight. And so
it's not like Guido riding on Sal's.
Well, I guess
shoulder.
they kind of do it almost as like a fake out though, in a way, because like you think he can't win, and then he gets in and he cleans out. So I don't know if it's meant to be like he's fucking with them, I guess. Possibly. I don't know.
I mean, I could see that for sure. I just like after the pop, you know, that he gets, like for him to come out on the dude's shoulders, I just felt like, well, okay, you could have just walked, or with crutches or something. I don't know. But I hope that they stop that. I hope that's not like a thing that we're gonna do now. But so happy that he's back, and poor Sandman. Yikes. Yeah, I would agree about the Buffalo crowd. Yeah, they were insane for this, and they always bring it for us. So.
All right, best match, clearly that main event.
Yes.
Worst players in Chetty Nova, which again was fine.
Yep.
Best moment. I mean, I just went with Taz. The Taz thing. I know the end is hotter, but like the Taz thing is really historically like up there. Like again, the WWF guy being the WCW guy for the ECW title, like it's a big thing at that time. It was pretty surprising when Taz showed up. It wasn't something that happened often. And then the whole SmackDown thing, it was just such a big thing on the internet that week. So it's like it's hard not to say that's like the biggest moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with RVD.
Just because of how big it is and how wild, especially at the time period that something like that would happen, I got to go with the Taz thing.
All right, most 2000 to me was awesome leaving ECW while world champion.
100%.
Rising, I went Taz, Sinister Minister, Tajiri, Crazy, Guido, Sal was awesome, Rhino, and then Buffalo.
Yeah.
Stock falling, obviously we always do when someone leaves. I'm like, awesome. And it's the ECW world title. It feels lost right now. Like we loved Awesome as champion, but we've also talked about how he didn't really have much of a feud. Like he had the series with Tanaka, which you could argue wasn't even a feud. It was just more of like a series of matches. The Spike feud was like unbelievably enough, like his best feud. And then he had like the team with Raven, which was kind of cool. He was getting heated for RVD, but we didn't really get a lot from that because RVD gets hurt like pretty quick into the feud. So the ECW world title really, and even we talked about even Taz's reign felt like honestly since the height of like the franchise in late 98 or whatever, like the ECW title for the last 18 months has felt very aimless. Like whether it's a product of RVD being dominant as TV champion, whether it's just them not sure how to book guys like Taz and Awesome on top, but we had like those are two guys that had almost over a year long title reign between the two of them, with very like you can count the feuds on one hand, like not much to talk about.
I think it goes hand in hand. RVD having such a meteoric rise combined with Taz world title reign just not being great kind of led to the TV title being like up here and the world title is kind of lower. I think just RVD being as incredibly insanely over as he is kind of helps that TV title a lot.
I would agree.
All right, that all said, I went 9 out of 10. I mean, this is a huge episode of TNN when you really look at it. Like, the tag match was pretty good. The whole main event thing was amazing. Classic match, plus the Taz awesome stuff. We get to see that footage, like, historical moment. I mean, I think you could make an argument for a 10. I won't. I'm going to go 9, but it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah, I think it's in the conversation for best episodes of TNN, so I did the 9 on it too.
I'm gonna go 8.
Haterade.
Yep.
All right, that'll do it for us. It was an eventful night here, of course.
We ran long. Look at there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We'll be back in 2 weeks with 3 more episodes of television. We'll get all this fallout. We'll see how the Taz stuff plays out from here. And where we go, we'll be on the march to our next pay-per-view soon as well, Hardcore Heaven in May. We'll see what happens with RVD's return. We got a lot to get into. Check out everything in North-South Connection, like we mentioned earlier. Appreciate your support. Continue to stay extreme, and we'll talk to you later.
Fuck you, Taz.